Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Telstra Dome. Plenty at stake today. Big game, Geelong up against St Kilda. The Geelong Footy Club, should they win this afternoon, will be one game outside the 8. If St Kilda win, they will be in the top 4. Of course, there's another significant story that will unfold this afternoon, and that is the return of Justin Koschitzke to senior football after that round 6 incident here at the Telstra Dome where he got himself knocked out in a fractured skull. Plenty of speculation about whether or not, in fact, Justin Koschitzke would return to footy. The good news is he's back. It is a glorious day for footy, Brian, and we're excited.
And both teams are in good form, Gary. Saints have won 5 of their last 6. Cats have won 4 of their last 6. It's sudden death footy for them, so we're expecting something pretty special out here today.
We are indeed. Let's have a look at this Geelong lineup. 2 changes to the side last week that defeated Brisbane by 17 points, and they're significant ones. Mooney and Ablett both back into the side. They are influential players. Bartel out, and James Kelly's been dropped.
Getting some consistency with what they're doing. Ottens has played every game for them this year. Good-looking forward line. Stephen Johnson, mercurial at half-forward. Chapman, we know what he's capable of. He's been one of their very best players for the year. And their back line has settled as well. Milburn, Harley, Egan, Hunt, Scarlett, all regular members of that back half.
And they'll need it. They're up against a formidable forward line this afternoon in St Kilda's big key power forwards. But Stephen Johnson, you spoke about him. This is a man that's got the X factor, Brian. These are the players that can do things that not too many others can in the competition. Melbourne yesterday struggled without Davey and Pickett, their X-men. Well, this bloke here has just got to stay fit and sound. He kicked 4 last week against Brisbane. He's an exciting player to watch.
13 disposals. Very hard player to match up on, Gary. Good at ground level, pretty good in the air as well. What sort of player do you see lining up on Steve Johnson?
Oh, look, it's a very good question. Maybe Brett Voss is the one that I thought of, but he's been playing forward with a fair degree of success. We'll have to wait and see. This man, Josh Hunt's another one that we're keen to look at. He's played every game for the Cats this year, had a career high 30 disposals last week, playing out of that back pocket. A beautiful user of the footy, and his ups and downs this season.
Need to get it in his hands if they can across half-back. He had a fairly ordinary start to the year. He's come on strong in the last 4 weeks, Gary, averaging 25 disposals a game. 6th year at the Cats. He is one they'll look on today to get plenty of drive off half-back.
Here the St Kilda side coming out, and just look for the man with the big helmet on his head, because that's where so much of the interest lies this afternoon. We have indeed missed you, and I think the whole footy world have missed Justin Koschitzke. He had a purple patch last season when he came back from injury that just announced to the competition how good a player he is. He's had a horrible, horrible run, but hopefully it's smooth sailing. He'd be nervous, and so would his family, the Brocklesby Koschitzke family, in the grandstand, and it'd be a nervous time.
They would. Look, he hasn't played since round 6 against the Dogs. We know what happened. He's only played 2 games prior to that, and of course 1 now, so it's his 3rd game for the year. Not a lot of footy under his belt. St Kilda know that they need him up and running for the finals. He's a really important player, Gary. Look, if he plays 50 or 60% of the game today, really it's irrelevant as to, I guess, his contribution. They'd love something out of him, but it's more important he just plays the game.
Having said that, I'm not sure he's going to line up on the half-back flank where he's been named there. I think that Grant Thomas will throw him into the ruck after Michael Ricks does the initial 5 or 6 minutes. Throw him in at the deep end, get himself a bit of a whack around the ears maybe, just to see that everything's okay. As much for his teammates as anyone else, Brian, because they'd also be a bit nervous.
Well, that's a certainty. Rixie hasn't got the tank to go the whole game in the ruck by himself. Someone's going to have to help him. The next tallest guy is Koschitzke. Looks the goods. Good forward line. Rewalt and Garrick up forward. Great back line on the bench. The 2 Clark boys will give them plenty of run, which they really need in the St Kilda lineup.
Xavier and Raf Clark back into the side along with Ricks and Koschitzke, but this man, Nick Rewalt, just holds the key. He's a super... Well, is he a superstar? There's no doubt about it that he wins the ball as well as anyone in the competition. The query over it, and a lot of people won't tick off on the superstar tag until he starts to convert the major goals, the ones that matter when the pressure's on. He kicked 4-3, but a lot of those when the game was settled last week.
He used to be a really good converter by foot. Don't know what's happened over the last couple of years, not getting it done. If you can find that, Gary, you're certainly right. He'll be in the star category. He's #1 in the competition for marks, #2 in the competition for contested marks. He's obviously a vital link for them in the air up forward.
Well, he's got some big support, obviously. Fraser Gehrig down there as well, and this man, Justin Koschitzke, may even spend some time up forward. It is a big day. It's a big day for both clubs. Finals for Geelong still very much up in the air. They win today, they're a game out. The Saints can just secure a spot in the top 4, and Justin Koschitzke returns to footy. James Brayshaw returns to this calling team. We gave him a week off in the reserves. He's back. He's going to be up next. But as we go to the break, it's been a big 99 days in the life of Justin Koschitzke.
Oh, great shepherd from Giansiracusa put Koschitzke down. They're both down. It was a wonderful shepherd there from Giansiracusa.
Got a feel for this young man. No, he just cannot take a trick, can he?
Welcome back to the Telstra Dome. A glorious afternoon here in Melbourne. Roof open, sun's out, 17 degrees at the moment, heading for a top of 18. Stephen King, the captain of the Cats, has won the toss and will kick to the left of screen. Looking forward to this big crowd in. James Brayshaw back.
Not since the SWAT vac week before matric have I done this much homework, Gary. I have never been more ready to commentate football than I am today. This is going to be fantastic.
Unfortunately, we've got a game that, on the face value anyway, shapes up as an absolute beauty. It's going to be, well, so much at stake, of course. The Cats really fancy themselves. They want to get into September, and the results of the weekend have opened up beautifully for the Saints in a top 4 spot there for the taking. Let's head down to the boundary. Chris Jones. It is about Justin Koschitzke, particularly early in the piece, Jones, and I reckon there'll be some nervous people here.
Yeah, there certainly are. His parents, Greg and Lorraine, are here. I'm told he's going to start forward. I'm also told by the Geelong people that they're going to give him some extra physical pressure. Now, the Cats, they had a hyperbaric chamber sent down to Geelong this week to make sure Gary Ablett was right to get up. There he is. He's out there ready to go. The Cats are pumped. This is a real finals atmosphere.
Good on you, Jonesy. Indeed, it is. Koschitzke's gone to the goal square. Tommy Harley's gone to pick him up, and Fraser Gehrig down there with Matthew Scarlett, which leaves Nick Revolt to start. Well, he's starting on the wing. He's lined up on the wing at the moment, but expect him to go forward. There's plenty to like about this contest, boys.
There is indeed. Ablett, you would think, with the shoulder, can't quite be right. Start of the first quarter action. The Cats and the Saints. King and Ackland going at it. King does the work. Corey and Hunt. There is Hunt. It's back onto that familiar left. Pretty ordinary kick. Fisher and Milne tidying up at half-back for the Saints. Rewald, as you pointed out, starting on the wing. How long before he drifts forward? And getting back, Dave Johnson.
Little one from Johnson. Hunt's had a couple of pieces of it early. Back to Johnson. Looking up for a target inside the 50. Voss back with courage and commitment.
He's got the job on Stephen Johnson. We speculated he'd gone forward over the last few weeks, but he's back there on Johnson.
Del Santo. Frankie Pickett. Long ball. Gehrig and Scarlett. And Fraze made a bit of a meal of that one, and it's over the line.
Well, he's pushed up the ground, effectively playing between centre-half forward and full forward to take Scarlett away from the goal square.
King. Goddard. Mooney in defence. Just tidying up. Plenty of time to squeeze the handball to Milburn and receive it back. Milburn again. Waxing these two at the moment. The big fella in a little bit of trouble last week and finds himself still involved with the Cats this week. Egan at half-back. Hunt's making good ground here on the wing. Players just feeling each other out at the moment. Whether they can take their player on by foot or not. Corey is the leading possession getter for the Cats this year till Ablett. His direct opponent, Pickett.
Well, he started in the goal square as well. Pickett is lined up on him. I reckon that's a matchup that the Cats won't mind. Probably don't expect to see him with that shoulder injury into the middle of the ground. So, got both taped, Brian. What is that? Just a bit of confusion.
Ablett sneaking around just so Frankie doesn't know which one to bang into. Here he is from 45. That needs to swing left to right heavily. It had a bit on it, not enough. First score of the game with the Cats.
Goddard over the top. Revolt all over the place at the moment as far as ground position's concerned. Gary goes to Rick's outer side. Footy's over the line.
You wonder how long it'll be before he heads back, but I guess with Koschitzke down there, they can allow him to push up. But what it does is it takes Matthew Egan away from centre-half back, and if he has to play as a wingman on Nick Revolt, he's going to have his hands full.
Ball thrown in. King has been a very important player for the Cats in recent times. Ball. Handball over the top. Thompson just inside the field of play. Hunt's had a fair bit of it early. Scrimmage, and Hunt goes back and gets it again. Handball over the top. Very nice. Ends up with Corey to centre half forward. Good kick. Harley running off Koschitzke to Mackie. Now to Mooney. Big Cam can load up and go long in the Ottens direction. he was involved in a wrestle which allowed Fisher to come in, and there's Revolt again, getting some very nice ball in the back half. Back to Fisher. Bounces his way through half-back and then tumbles it in the Koschitzke direction. Harley was very good. The handball off to Wyszynski.
Mooney at a half-back. Wyszynski back to Mooney. Fisher's the one at the moment, Gary. They're trying to get free at half-back, the Saints. As going forward, Scarlett. Strong hands, Ablett.
Mooney's his corresponding player, who's also dropping loose into the hole at the other end of the ground.
Ablett playing on to Scarlett. Sends it wide, looking for Chapman. Was it Johnson? It was the latter. Milne cleverly stepping backwards out of the way. Few bounces across that last line of defence, eventually drawing Ottens. Good play. Composure needed for the Saints in defence in this situation. No one comes at Hodgson, so he's able to just wander.
Well, big Fraser Garrick is the man that's got to push up.
Ricks eventually gets there. Bounce got him. Fiora and Playfair, the 222s.
Well, they've not compromised their forward line setup, but it's different. Now, Justin Koschitzke is the first contest he's involved in. Harley ends up getting the ball. He then has this massive long chase, or just before that, and he was spent, boys, Justin Koschitzke. So the first 5 or 6 minutes for him, he'll just be feeling his way. It'll be foreign to him. He's gone back to the goal square now. He ran probably 150 metres. It'll all be buzzing around him at the minute. It'll take 10 minutes just to settle down.
Throw in. King, one-handed down. Corey steps through very nicely. And King over the top. Enright. Little ball. Playfair. They look more composed to me, the Cats. Inside the 50. Here comes Ottens. The kick wasn't great. Goes to ground. Lots of talk about the surface here again being slippery for the players. Graham's had a very good month. Goes straight through the legs of Fisher. Goddard claimed. Chapman is very dangerous. Gets the handball off, and the Cats are queuing up. Steve Johnson. Dacked. Gets it away. Ottens in the square. Not going to be needed. Mackie should have taken the mark. He can kick a goal anyway. Very well done by the St Kilda defenders. Behind a good result.
Quickly back into play. Ackland. Free. Who's going to present up from here is the problem. Gary, I want to ask you a question. With Koschitzke playing deep in the square, has it upset the whole balance of what St Kilda are trying to do? Rewalt and Garrick are playing in foreign positions. As it goes forward, Scarlett.
Yes, it has, Brian. It has indeed. They just haven't got their regular targets.
Johnson dropped the mark, should have taken, then the don't argue on Voss, and then he had Goddard to deal with. Took on a couple of, perhaps should have awarded the tackler there. Goddard all over his direct opponent. Will have a ball up in the middle.
Nick Revolt is loose in defence. Was he legged in? Andrew Mackie? No, good defence there. But Revolt's loose in defence. That's why they haven't got that really predictable target.
I know, just with the Koschitzke thing, that it's a good spot to play him at full forward, Gary, given his lack of football, but it is just upsetting the balance a little. Del Santo wide. Here is Rewalt, has been forced to play well up the ground. He's probably enjoying the freedom.
Well, I'll tell you who else would be enjoying it, I reckon. That's Mark Thompson, not having to worry about Revolt inside forward 50.
Del Santo kicking to Harvey. Robert Harvey, a little nudge in the back. Turns 35 in just over a week, Robert Harvey, to match his jumper number. The oldest player in the competition, I think he may well be. Kick to Rewalt, who marks inside 50.
Yeah, that is homework. That is some serious homework there, Jim.
That is just one thing I am bringing to the table today, Gaz. Goes short, Rewalt to Koschitzke!
Yes, this is it. This is the moment.
Just a nice little kicking action there by Rewalt. Sees a 35-metre attempt by this man.
Why Tommy Harley goes right back to the last line instead of just planting himself, you know, 10 or 15 metres out in front is beyond me, because when he does that, he just sets himself up for a bit of a block and a screen.
Had just 5 shots in the warm-up, Gary, from this spot. Kicked all 5. I was watching as part of my homework.
Jim, mate,
this is his 7th disposal for the year, Gary. In his 3 games, Koschitzke comes in and misses with a left or right twirler.
The build-up is as good as we've had all year. Make no mistake about that, but Tom Harley, that's the only knock I'd have on him, is that he follows the players when he's playing last line right back to the goal square when he should take the most dangerous space.
Geez, haven't helmets changed in design over the years? That one that Koschitzke's wearing's very different. Picked up here by Montagna. Inside the 50, it'll tumble over the line.
Very different to the one Jason Dunstall wore.
Let's just be honest, that one that Jason wore is not the one that you'd want to be wearing.
No.
Interchange benches, Riccardi, Burns, Blake, Prismal. See Gwilt, the two Clark boys there for the Saints.
Ball thrown in. Montagna looked dangerous for a sec. Wojcinski getting better by the week. Over the top to Johnson. His last month of footy's been solid. Shovels a handball back to Wojcinski. Long down the line, that's not good. Kicked it straight to Ackland. Ackland now to Revolt. Steps his way through the centre. Kicks to a one-on-one ball out here. Graham and Chapman. I think Graham was infringed. Not sure the players realised that the umpire had called the play dead.
I reckon Paul Chapman did realise. Thought he'd just go on with it and act as if he hadn't, and then get his money's worth.
Back he goes to Peckett. And Frankie Peckett will just hold things up for a sec. Milburn lurking here. Johnson as well. They triple team Koschitzke in the air. And then at ground level, it's all the Cats. Scarlett able to go across to Milburn.
Scarlett's opponent, Fraser Gehrig's come to the interchange bench, boys.
Dave Johnson. Kick to Ablett is beautifully weighted, allowing Ablett to continue and not break stride. Ottens took his man and another to the ground, which is a bonus. Lovely play in the end by Ricks at ground level. Ricochets to Fisher. Good ball, Milne. Half back, Thompson's sun in the eyes. Allowed Milburn to come through, dished off and received it back. Awkward looking kicking style. Graham been in great touch in recent weeks as Graham will have a ball up. No, he won't. Ball eventually comes out of the scrum. Peckett, the skipper. Ball. Rewalt is getting a lot of it, Gary. His 8th disposal coming up.
He is. He's an eager. Look, I'd make the change there. I reckon you'd put someone a bit more accustomed to playing up in the middle of the ground. He's effectively playing as a midfielder now. He's winning a lot of footy, but at what expense? The Saints haven't kicked the goal.
Del Santo. Fiora thought about going.
Well, Scarlett's filled up the hole there, so Koschitzke's got Scarlett and Harley to contend with. No opponent for Matthew Scarlett, so he's effectively loose man. That's why they won't kick it there.
Little one, Koschitzke. Third effort lead was good. To centre half forward. Too strong for Milne. Now he's double teamed. Did well to compete. Still did well. Johnson on top of him. Umpire taking a close look at it. It'll be balled up.
Well, we got, I reckon that's Xavier Clark has come on, and he's now got Tom Harley as his opponent. Scarlett's gone on to Koschitzke.
Ball up. Cats. M numbers here in defence, Enright. Short ball finds Mackey.
He's playing on Goddard, Andrew Mackey. The other one, Del Santo and Cameron Ling. That's going to be a great matchup.
So we've been playing 12 minutes and we haven't seen a goal kicked here in perfect conditions. Roof open today at the Dome. A ripping day in Melbourne. Mackey through the middle. Ottens, good body position. Needs strong hands. Didn't have them. Hudson. Graham pushed out of the way. Ottens for his second attempt. Eventually Del Santo and Hudson tidying up along with Fisher. Peckett, Voss, loose out the opposing side.
Goddard further afield. Has to stop because there was nothing ahead of him. Now into the centre where Paul has found some space. Handball off to the good run of Harvey. Milne and Johnson. This should suit Milne. Boundary line and Thompson there. Fiora now. Tied against the line on the left. Fiora has kicked a magnificent goal.
Been very hard to come by goals. Both the history between these two times suggests that they are pretty low-scoring affairs, tight contests, and they've had to manufacture one from the boundary. That is an absolute beauty there from Aaron Fiora. It's a beautiful finish. They're just a little unconventional. Koschitzke now coming to the interchange bench, boys, to have his first spell for the afternoon.
So the first goal coming 13 minutes in. Koschitzke has his first spell with 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. They probably got a little more out of him than they thought they would. Chris Jones.
Just speaking to Grant Thomas during the week, Cosy will play 60 to 70% of the game.
Okay, ball back in the middle. Definite void at centre-half forward at the moment for the Saints, Gary. Will they continue to go with their forward setup?
Well, I reckon Revolt will be down there eventually, Brian, but not at the moment. They've got, in fact, Goddard and the two Clarks are their key forwards at the moment because both Gehrig and Koschitzke are on the interchange bench.
Well, let's see if that eventually will bring Rewalt forward. He's still that loose man in defence at the moment. Or he's not even loose. He's manned up. Ling. Handball's off with Ginsky. Driving ball to the top of the square. Rewalt. Milburn. Ottens shakes the tackle under enormous pressure with the kick. That'll go over the line. No, it won't. Ottens claiming his own ball. Not 15, the umpire, McBurney, rightly calls. And McBurney's going to penalise here. And that'll be a free kick going Geelong's way.
Gee whiz. Going to Milburn.
Against Del Santo. Milburn plays on immediately. Blake will mark directly in front, long way out. Gives it off to Hunt, who was running onto his wrong foot. Had to come back on the left. First goal for the Cats.
Big Mark Blake, he knows where he's bread and buttered. Jim, that's an example of just playing within your limitations. Yes. And this is the free kick. It eventually gets paid because no attempt being made. Bit harsh, there's a few hands on it. Watch Big Blakey. Because I'm not having this from here. Even running onto his right foot, Josh Hunt was good enough to then get back onto his left and kick the Cats opener.
A man's got to know his limitations, Gary. Big Blakey was very nice there. He goes and gets it now. Just stripped of the footy. Fiora to centre-half forward.
Free kick.
Riccardi will get a free kick. Very quick handball away to Scarlett. Johnson to Chapman. They could be brothers, these two. Chapman.
42% of St Kilda goals to Gehrig and Revolt, boys, and neither of them are inside their forward 50.
There's St Kilda's Blake being infringed as he was trying to complete the mark. Ablett arguing his case.
Rightly so.
Yeah, there wasn't a mountain in it. Montagna. Hodgson. Goddard. Milburn makes him earn it. As Koschitzke's back on the ground.
Oh,
not a great kick from Goddard. There's Revolt. More customary roll, hitting up to the footy. Harvey. Little one to Fiora. Players continue to go to ground.
Raphael Clark at full forward.
Too early.
Yeah, well, that's inexperience, Brian.
Long left foot ball to the hot spot. Clark to fly at the back, unable to complete the mark. Ling back there, steps through a bit of traffic. Did it well to Prismal.
Prismal, kick not what it should have been though. Fisher, looking for support, found it from Del Santo. Remember, he's a left footer. Ling realises that and overplayed him to his right side. There's Del Santo, long ball. Mark will be taken here by Koschitzke, who's just snuck back onto the ground.
He did indeed. Andrew Thompson was a player that has come off for him, and the Cats very slow to pick up on it. He just went straight into the forward 50.
He's back on the ground for a long time, though, Gaz. It wasn't.
No, well, he came back in when the play was generally on this side of the ground, so players were sort of working hard to get their own men, and they just haven't picked up on this.
Should convert this one. It's his second set shot in the game. Comes in and got it. Welcome back to football, Justin Koschitzke.
But isn't that a great result? That is a great result. In fact, he started the game really well, boys. He really has. He's taken 3 marks. He's presented up well. Just watch him sneak in behind the defence there. Tom Harley lost him. He just got in there in the right spot, went back and kicked the goal. He'd be feeling pretty good about him, and his reward for that is to go into the centre bounce and contest this next ruck contest, which no protecting him, putting him in where the action is.
Justin Koschitzke back in the big time, and he's kicked a goal. Now he's in the centre. Up against Blake. They nullify each other. Prismal. Handball, didn't really find anyone. I think there was an arm out there from Fiora. High contact on Riccardi. Hunt in his sweeping roll. Left foot ball. Mooney the target. Ricks with him. Ricks did well. And then Mooney made him earn it. And then a little head rub. Just a little rub on the scone from Big Cam. And Milne was too fierce on the big fella.
Stevie Johnson, a bit of reaction there. What went on here?
Just a little nod, and then in came Milne.
Yeah, it wasn't a great deal.
So, Cam Mooney.
Was that a rub? Brian, it was a rub, wasn't it?
Forehead rub.
You wouldn't even raise an eyebrow at that, would you, brother?
I wouldn't have.
No.
So Cam Mooney from outside the 50 improves the angle and then just sits it up. Buttons with a fly. The fist away was good.
That man Koschitzke again, he's in everything. This is a dream comeback to footy at the moment.
Goddard. Milne positioned his body well. Looking for support. Ricks didn't get over to Shepherd. Probably should have. That's what Milne was waiting for.
Changing my mind on the revolt thing. The only proviso would be that he pushes forward a bit more often than he does back.
So you're happy with him sitting up on the wing?
Well, as long as he pushes forward 65-35.
Okay. Goddard confronting David Johnson. Peckett, driving ball caught behind Cozzy. He was going back to the goal square deep, and Blake just presented up in front. It was well done, and it opens up the Cats. Full-on attack from Scarlett. Beautiful kick, Shannon Burns. And he'll make the distance. Nonchalantly to Ablett. Put himself under a bit of pressure. Can he handle it? No. Ablett says, sorry, mate. I messed that up. And Burns would have been very capable from the set shot from there, but a behind for the Cats.
Well done to Big Blake, who followed Koschitzke and effectively was at full-back, but read it beautifully.
Voss, not sure where he's going with that kick. 3 Cats out here. Nick Revolt will do well to get the ball to the line. Handball back over the top to Harley. That's not a great handball inboard, but it sort of works to Corey. Stagnant target in Ablett. Voss just kills it into the 18th row.
There's a spoil up to the second deck.
And then Thompson comes in and puts a bit of body heat on Ablett. Gives away the free. Milburn to the hot spot. Look at Big Cam lurking here. The jukes. Oh, that's it. That's what we want from the big boy. With some forward 50 presence.
That is not much of a free kick at all. Oh, that is. That's fair. That's fair enough. Unwarranted. Silly, in fact. Good kick this from Milburn. Played on instinctively, went to the top of the square. That's easy to read if you're a big key forward.
Back in the side, Cam Mooney. After a holiday. 35 out, kicks ugly, but it's there.
Well, I don't reckon Andrew Thompson's going to be too impressed with that when he has a look at it again. Just no need. No need for this. Certainly Gary Ablett accentuated it, but I mean, it's just nothing. I mean, what do you get out of that? What you get is a free kick and a shot at goal, and Cameron Mooney gets some confidence. So there's flow-on effects from all of that sort of silly stuff.
Oh, look at the cannons.
Well, Mooney kicks the goal and goes straight for a spell to the bench.
What's that hanging around his head, Brian? Around his neck.
That's the hair piece.
It is the hair piece.
Oh,
I was going to say otherwise it would be illegal. It is the real name for that, JB.
No, I don't know. No idea.
You're the man that's been consulting most often to the hairdresser of recent times.
Has he ever, Brian?
Voss. Fisher. And now Blake looking to draw. Did it well. Montagna can run and go. Hunt's got to come at him. Montagna winds up to the open goal square. Garrick gets back.
Well, he's just come back on, so the interchange has worked beautifully for Grant Thomas. He brought Justin Koschitzke on at the right time, went straight forward and marked in goal. Now Big Fraser's just wandered back on. That's the way I reckon you'd be better off playing Matthew Scarlett, going back towards the goal than coming back out from the goal square.
1 goal last week for Fraser, 10 the week before that. Just comes out onto the right foot and says it's that easy.
Yeah, I'm not sure they were anticipating that. 5th lead change of the game, so we've got a seesawing contest, but look at that. That is nice. Nice forward line work, that. Hard for Matthew Scarlett to defend that. We speak about it often. Back to the footy, running back with a flight. Then look at Big Fraser on the right. Can do it both, left and right. Beautiful work. Saints back in front.
Big Cam getting something adjusted.
That's the Dr. Chris Bradshaw there, working with Cam Mooney. That's been informed it's a shoelace that he puts around his head.
Okay. Corey, thumping handball forward. Thompson, honest. Del Santo, look out. Just got the handball away. Voss at half-back, steers out in the Blake direction. Corey puts a good tackle on. Blake got the handball away. The cavalry arrive. Blake did really well. Gwilt, this is. Steve Johnson really yet to get into the game. Umpire letting this go for a very long time. Now he wants it.
Del Santo, boys, 9 possessions. Cameron Ling just the 3, so that's a hard tag they got going at the moment, the Cats.
St.Kilda box. John Thomas up the back.
Back row.
Clean possession, Corey. Handball down the line. Voss takes it over the line.
How important is that setup in the box, Gary, with having the right people on the right side?
Well, the few experiences I've had in there, absolutely critical, Brian. You can't sit there and be wallpaper. You've got to contribute. Although different coaches like different scenarios. Some like lots of ideas thrown up. Others like you just to sit there and talk when you're spoken to.
Blake here on the wing.
Sort of a bit like this commentary box front.
Montagna. Beautiful mark, Harley. Minute 20 remaining. Saints by 3. Here is Ling. Gary spoke of his efforts so far just a moment ago. Couple of bounces. Waiting for something to happen on the Docklands side of the ground. Prismore started the day on the bench. See how slippery it is there just off the arena. Even the boundary umpire having trouble standing up. We'll throw it in on the wing right between the interchange gates. Geelong box ready to come down and address the players. Out of the action there was Graham to Xavier Clark, and it's over the line. We'll throw it in with a minute rest.
Bringing some players back that haven't played a lot of footy, the Saints, Xavier and Raf Clark and now Koschitzke. So a little bit of touch just for Xavier Clark there. Tempo this game, quick.
King won it down. Ablett. Explosive pace. Long to half forward. Ottens double teamed in the air. Brought the footy to ground, which is a very good result. Burns got Playfair further afield. Got Mackie as well. Can load up and kick the ball very nicely. But to the right of the big stick.
Gee, they had good numbers around the ball then. They didn't.
Well, the spare was Fisher, who came back with the flight of the footy in the contest. They both bowled themselves over, so they left themselves short on the ground.
Been a very entertaining first quarter, as Gary said. Goal for goal right from the start here. Goddard out of the back half for the Saints. Otten's great chase. Forced him to dispose of it when he really didn't want to. Peckett ball pinned to him.
That is good pressure from a big man, isn't it? And I'm not sure about the handball from Brendan Goddard.
He ain't running back to his position, Brad Ottens, but he was certainly coming out. Up they go. Geelong really the only ones that can score.
Yeah, that's good umpire.
This quarter. Yep.
Very good umpire. And the umpire closest to the contest missed it, but this man here, umpire Schmidt, he picked it up.
Justin Schmidt. Very nice work. Rewalt. Beautiful half volley pick up. Played most of his first quarter up the ground. The return of Justin Koschitzke saw him net one goal. Had a near miss with another. And he played a pretty good first quarter of footy, Gary.
Absolutely, Brian. I reckon they would be delighted with that. I think it's going to get tougher for him as the day wears on. It's a warmish day here in Melbourne, and he hasn't played much footy. But it's a great start, and we've got a very close contest. Quarter time here on Sunday Football to Saints by 2 points. Everything is all right, at least at this stage anyway, for Justin Koschitzke. His comeback to footy has been a success. His side is up by 2 points, and he's kicked a goal along with Aaron Fura and Fraser Gehrig, Josh Hunt and Cam Mooney. The goal scorers for the Cats. Justin Koschitzke, 3 kicks, 3 marks, and 1 goal, 1. I reckon they'll be pretty happy with that, Brian, that return. And look, we spoke about it, debated, in fact, just the usage of Nick Rewalt up on the wing for almost the whole quarter. Now he's the second highest possession winner on the ground. You are a celebrated forward. Are you happy with that move?
Well, I'm not sure, Gary, but to me it leaves a void at centre-half forward because Fraser Gehrig, he doesn't want to get too far from goal and he's not prepared to come and fill that void and be totally committed to it. And for that reason, I just think they need someone that is capable of marking the ball at centre-half forward. Although Rewalt's been getting plenty of it where he is, let's give it another quarter and see what happens.
Yeah, well, he's run Chris Egan into the ground, and Matthew Egan, rather, into the ground, and he's got plenty of touches, but if I was Matthew Egan, I'd just drop off him and let him go into the back half and pick him up on the way back. But anyway, that is something we'll watch as it unfolds. Let's head down the boundary and Chris Jones.
Gary, a couple of tired guys at that quarter-time break. It's hit 19 degrees, and I'll tell you, a few people who are loving it is the crowd. There's well over 40,000 people. They came in very late and are enjoying the contest.
Well, it is a glorious day here in Melbourne. Roof open, as you can see here at the Dome. Plenty of sun around, 17 degrees, heading for a top of 18, so foreign conditions for some boys, and it's a bit of a blowout for others. Stephen King on the interchange bench there. Gary Ablett, who seems to be suffering no ill effects from that shoulder injury. It's a good contest. Plenty of lead changes, 2 points in favour of the Saints.
Start of the second term. Good bounce. Blake and Ackland. Graham, a little handball. Thompson. Clark. Inside the 50, Koschitzke. Oh, yes. This is almost your fairy tale style arrangement, Gary.
It's going beautifully. That's what it is. He's got Egan now. Now, I reckon that Mark Thompson has relieved Egan of playing up on the wing on Nick Rewalt. He's gone back and lined up on this man. And the other thing is that he has become the central focus. They're going to him far more than they are to Fraser Gehrig.
For number 2. Could easily have 2 already. Drop punt on the way. That's not the result he was after, but he's getting the ball, and that's the main thing.
Indeed he is. The big fella wearing the helmet. And Milburn with a confronting task. Nothing on long, so he goes the bailout option to the pocket.
Very good zone. That is a good result when you can get the kick back into the pocket and hold them up.
Let's go down to Chris Jones.
Look, there's some terrible news for the Cats. It seems as though Riccardi's done his hamstring, and that could just about be career over for him. He was almost in tears as he walked down the race.
Okay. And he, I think, has already announced his retirement for this year, at the end of this year, has he, or not? Or is just a rumour at this stage?
Been announced. They certainly had a testimonial planned for him, but that has also been put on the back burner. So not a good week for Big Rico.
Ling, Wojcinski, through with pace. Ooh. Leeds got hard behind. Wojcinski, long ball. Who can get on the end of it? Johnson! Don't tell me he's got that.
Oh, it's a late call.
Bounce. Johnson reckons he marks it.
That is a late call. Now, the decision might be absolutely right in the end. We'll find out now. But the umpire, yeah, that's a great decision. But the umpire hadn't called that until Johnson emerged. Now, he wouldn't know if it hit the ground or not, but
sensational mark.
Sensational mark, sensational decision, the right decision.
In the end, no doubt at all. Johnson, his first direct set shot at goal, and he comes. There's the task. ahead. We'll ride this one home with him. Just nurses it through. Very, very nicely done. The Cats get the first in the second.
Well, he's the man, isn't he, Stephen Johnson, as we said pre-game, that just gives him something a bit different. Now, with Riccardi out, Koschitzke is going to pick that role up as Peter Riccardi eventually goes into retirement, whether it be end of the year or next year, and run through the middle so important, and then some magic here from Stevie Johnson. Just beautiful. Able to do things that the average player can't.
It's Peter Riccardi, and that's a sad sight. He's been a wonderful warrior for the Cats over a long period of time, and he won't feel good sitting there. Bounce back in the centre. Thompson's claimed. Well done, Blake. Put some centre square pressure on Chapman. Just like a pinball bouncing off a few there, but the kick forward ill-directed. And Milne was able to chop it out. Go to Thompson. Further afield, Ackland. Back to Revolt.
Harley now gone to Revolt.
Goddard. Good lead, a good kick. Koschitzke wants it in long. Kick goes in that direction. Koschitzke at the back. Had a play on the footy in the end. I don't think he could believe that the ball carried as far as it did.
Just on Riccardi, Gary, he's got 3 weeks to get back, though, if he were to play the last game of the year. And depending on the severity of the hamstring, that would be a distinct possibility.
Well, while they're still in finals contention, then he'll be doing everything he can.
Chapman wide with the ball. Finds play fair. Chipping ball over the top is good to Mackie. Mackie looks downfield, sees the Ottens one-on-one, but sees Burns on the lead, and he liked what he saw, so he delivered. Burns played on then, went off the line, but the umpire said no.
He did. Sure what Stephen Johnson was doing there. I put some pressure on him almost to play on, but thankfully the young man, 22 years of age, had enough composure to say, no, I'll take the responsibility of kicking a goal that AFL players should be able to kick.
Capable of giving the Cats spark when needed. This man here, Shannon Burns, in he comes. That is a great kick. It is always a little right to left from that angle, and he nails it 2 in a row for the Cats.
Yes, they have got a couple in a row. Not sure that Brad Ottens was the focus. He certainly was the focus here. And Shannon Burns was the man that presented instead. And I guess that's what you got to do. You can't just sit there and rely on someone else. It's an interesting one that, not Luke Ball, but maybe he was just covering. Yeah, Jason Graham going back to Shannon Burn now. So it's a pretty unconventional setup from both sides at the moment.
First time in the game we've seen 2 goals in a row. Grant Thomas now looking pensive as the Cats have a little mini break. Corey to Chapman. Good stuff out of the centre. Ottens. Awkward bouncing ball. Hodgson able to get back on it. Now he dispossesses himself before going over the top to Milne. And he's got lots of time. Looks like he's got a permanent role in the back half at the moment, Gaz.
Yeah.
One-hand attempt from Goddard over the line.
I think he might even be loose with David Johnson, the corresponding loose back here. But, yeah, I just wonder, with goals so hard to come by, the Saints have just got 3. At some stage, you'd reckon that Milne and Revolt will both have to head inside forward 50.
Not sure if Ackland actually touched that ball, but at the back end right to Mooney. In the centre. Saints players flood back. Long ball. Play fair. Bounces in front of him. Ottens. Oh, did he get helped into the turf there by Hodgson? Not according to the umpire. On the knees, he gets the handball back to Burns. Burns looked to Enright, but Del Santo and Revolt got in the way. And Nick did very well to Fisher.
He did. Fisher plenty of time to act on this one. Graham, who really hasn't got it a lot. They've been using his kicking skills in recent weeks. That hasn't eventuated here today. Shannon Burns now can line it up from 50, puts it to the square. Ottens is there. That was a deliberate kick by Burns. He didn't kick through it. Ottens gets it. 3 in a row, Geelong.
Great work, Harley.
They went inside. Now going back into the middle of the ground is great. It's a really attacking move, but you've got to make sure the play gets there. Revolt was a target. Harley read it well, closed the distance, spoiled it, got to Burns, who found Brad Ottens on his own in the goal square. And this is bad news, boys. Max Hutchton limping from the ground. We talk about injuries that will define teams' success come finals. We are seeing one here. Maxie Hutchton, tough, hard competitor. Now, ankle maybe. He has just hobbled from the ground straight up the rooms. He is absolutely critical to the fortunes of St Kilda come September.
Not looking good for the Saints. Their injury list grows. Blake in the centre. Ends up with the ball and then misses with the attempted handball. Montagna. Forward, Hunt. I think he took that mark, even though Clark got a little late fist in there.
Confidence growing from the back half, Brian. This Geelong defence, not too much to worry about at the moment. Obviously the big guns in Gehrig and Koschitzke, but they are just starting to get right on top.
They are indeed. Mackie, plenty of time to dispose of the ball. Didn't do it well in the end. Ottens with a bit of power on the lead, leading up. A lot of St Kilda players around this one. Chapman did well to see it over. So the Cats have kicked all 3 goals in this second quarter to lead it and do it comfortably inside 50s, just about all departments. Geelong are leading. Ling. Handball into Hunt. Now Corey in the middle of the ground, around the body. Rewalt, safe overhead.
Little one to Xavier Clark. Centre half back. Brings it to the members' side. This is Peckett.
And this is where they need the next marking target.
Ball.
I'm not sure short and wide's going to be is doing the job for them.
Got a wall of Geelong players in front of him, so he heads back to Clark on the wing. Xavier had his brother short if he wanted him.
I can tell you, boys, I'll tell you shortly.
Kick in the Koschitzke direction. Carries that player. Harley over the back. Did well. Although the handball wasn't great. Voss was able to pick it up and kick a very nice goal.
Well, he's the other man that's been forward for that period of time where St Kilda were going really well. But with the injuries that have happened at the moment, Ricks has now had to go Hutchison off the ground, so Ricks has gone down to play on Ottens, and Revolt is playing centre half back on Cameron Mooney. It is, well, maybe they're going to sort that out now because Blake's going down. That's right. Ricks will come back out to Mooney, and that'll free Revolt up to go forward again. But yeah, no Voss, Gehrig, Revolt. Hard work.
Saints with a really important goal just against the flow of action here in the second quarter. What can they find out of that? Ling. Xavier Clark at centre half back. This looks better for the Saints. Milne. Ball it was, in fact. Ball and Hunt going at it. Needs support. Does Ball win for the boundary? And deliberate set umpire Justin Smith. And Ball says, I was aiming at Rewalt. But Smith said, well, you missed him by 14 metres.
He's struggled, Lukey Ball, hasn't he? He's really struggled. He's playing short.
Shannon Burns. Look at this. King was loose then on the lead. Stevie Johnson needed to get the jukes out, Stevie boy.
Come on, Stevie.
Can't be marking that one on the chest. Ground level ball. Clark. Ooh. A late arrival there from a Cat. Just trying to pick up who it was.
Big Cam.
Yeah, well, Peter Riccardi, boys, on the interchange bench. Day done. We reckon this is it here. 23 minutes into the first quarter. The older legs of Peter Riccardi right there. The hamstring gone. Maybe for the year we'll have to wait and see.
That's forward 50. Goddard. Beautiful tap. Well, he's going for the boundary line for Milne, but it looked great. Fisher. Out the city side of the dome. Blake. 12 minutes remaining in this first half, and a 3-goal to 1 quarter in favour of the Cats so far. Graham, this is where they want him. Running, penetrating style, and then the long kick as well. Very good at it. To Gehrig. Milne did well to take his man under the ball. Unselfish play by Milne. Now Garrick down the middle.
Big Fraser.
Looking for the ball, but Enright.
No good, Fraser. No good.
Here goes Ablett. Listen to the crowd get involved when he gets the prune. Going to get it back here too on the wing. Very nice delivery to Mackie. Here's Otten's one out. Very strong unit. Fisher did well. Cats fans want interference.
He might have had a case. Brad Ottens, maybe not. I'd love to have a look at it again at some stage.
Harvey. The dish off to Montagna. Montagna back to Harvey. And the superstar, dual Brownlow medalist, has it and sees Revolt, gets to him beautifully.
Well, he's pushed forward. He's got to push forward, I think. He's Josh Hunt covering him at the moment.
Long from Revolt. Coming across Egan. Poleaxed his own man. Blake. Chapman. Blake again. Did well. Got it to Enright.
Unusual looking kick, but it was deliberate in its direction, let's say. Mackie now Ablett.
Take him on.
Mackie again back to Ablett. Ablett can run here. He'll take Ricks on. He does. Takes him out. Great chase. Diving runs. Didn't get him. Ablett. Yes. No.
Good effort from Ricks to chase him down. Great awareness of his own ability of Gary Ablett, who said, no, I'll have a crack at it. See how he composed himself and then settled for the kick. Just didn't get it there. And that bloke who got poleaxed up the other end, Brian, that you said was Shannon Byrne. It was a very courageous effort.
Ackland dropped what perhaps he should have taken. Little handball to Xavier Clark. Ricks. Thompson. Del Santo. With some room to move. Oh, big Fraser.
That's better from Fraser. He's got to present more.
Got Fiora as a leading target. Got Koschitzke coming back onto the footy. Oh, Revolt as well. Ground level Fiora. Back to Clark. Was there a touch on the footy? Not going to matter. I think there was. But it was shoveled through anyway. Games just stepped up a cog, which is nice.
Revolt in the hands of the trainers. Very slow to get up in this marking contest. Not sure what it was. Must have been just a clash.
Egan, I think, cracked him on top of the head. He's also limping as well. Ablett. A bit of damage on this side to Mooney. Strong. Ricks, who really has just had one possession and played all of the game so far. Gary Rewalt still in trouble, you can see there. And that possession for Ricks coming a minute ago, so he's regaining his composure there. The superstar. Milburn centering ball. Ling. Corey tried to brush the Montagna tackle, but it was too aggressive. Got him high, said McBurney. And Joel Corey for the Cats at centre-half forward. The leading disposal getter at the Cats.
Had the binoculars on Revolt and Tom Harley. They seem to get on pretty well for two foes.
Look at the Ottens lead. It was fantastic delivery, and it was equally good work from this man, Brad Ottens, to put a bit of space between he and his opponent, Fisher.
He's got to kick the goal.
Good St. Peter's College boy, Tom Harley, Gaz. Very nice family, just a polite young man.
At your school, Jim, was it?
I just know plenty about the Harley family. They're lovely people.
A little bit of right to left. You get the feel about this one that Brad Ottens is about to launch.
Right, not interested in that.
Well, just interested in the man kicking the ball, Gary.
What was that, Brian?
Given the fact he was going for goal.
Jeez.
Montagna, you two continue with your chat.
Just kicked a sack.
About schools.
Thompson, long inside the forward 50. Koschitzke at the back. Hunt was very nice. Cosy works it down. Big phrase. The ground level man and just said, I didn't have it. I was nowhere near it. He's just given Scarlett some as well. Just have a look at him. Got the one in the first term.
That's a good sign that Maxie Hudson looks like he's going to come back on. That is a really good, encouraging sign. And I'll tell you what Justin Koschitzke does do is he just crashes the packs. He just causes spillages, and that's why I'd want Stephen Milne down at his feet.
Hudson back on is good. This is Fraser Garrick for number 2. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Saints are back in it.
Yeah, nice finish. His last few minutes have been good, Fraser. I'd like to see him get to a couple more contests. That would be my only criticism. Let's have a look at the free kick here. Overruns a footy. Now, the booing was, I reckon, from the Cats fans who say he let it go. Did he have possession?
Yes, maybe
I'm not sure he did.
Gary.
I'm not sure he controlled the footy enough to warrant...
Tackler knocked it out of his hands, I reckon.
Yes, I think we're all in accord. Oh.
Chris Jones, ground level.
Well, you mentioned Max Hudson was ready to come back on. He emerged from the rooms with his ankle strapped. You see the incident here, and he's gone down to fullback on Stephen King.
Now, Garrick's second goal draws him level with the great Dermot Brereton and the all-time goal-kicking list.
Brian, your homework and research is just unbelievable.
One more, and he'll go past Mr. Orndorff. Out of the middle, Del Santo. The run of X from centre-half back, Xavier Clark.
Just showing off, Brian.
I think he can do too much homework, guys.
Yeah, showing off.
Never can do enough, especially if it's very nice, accurate stuff. Look at this man, Blake. Slipped over on the slip-deep part of the ground. Strange that. Up they go. Otten's marks defensively. Starting to peel off into some of our best now. Gary Smith sees a 50.
Let's just straighten you up in a minute. Oh, two very evenly matched teams, these two.
Brad Ottens. Enright. Look at Wojak go. Look at him go. He's going to have a crack at him from long range. The kick wasn't great, but it worked. Stevie Johnson. The pill was just ascending at a rapid rate. And there he is, 15 out directly in front. And that's a good result for Geelong.
It's an old theory like the torpedo punt in the end. A mongrel kick is a dangerous kick. He's running too fast, your boy Wojak. And
well, Johnson kicks the goal. Cats back out to an 8-point lead.
And the theory being that any mongrel kick that's not going where it is intended, generally the first person that realises that is the forward. And that's why when they drop short or they wobble away. Look at Stevie Johnson heading back to goal. Brett Voss turns his back, ball wobbles around. Stephen Johnson's the first one to react. Takes the mark and kicks his second for the quarter.
Cats have kicked 4 in the quarter and trailed by 8 points, Gary.
Steve Johnson's 100th career goal, Ryan.
Very nice. Gary, thank you for that. In the middle, Ottens. Ling. Will got him in the tackle. Hunt. What about that for threading the needle? Magnificent stuff. Got it to Enright. Delivery forward. Fisher. Good position. Burns. A snapper. Missed it.
Good place to be, though, for a small crummer. Stephen Milne out here, boys, on his own. He's the one who's playing, I don't know, half-back centre wing at the moment.
Johnson gets back on Del Santo. This is dangerous. Burns at ground level. Over the top. Tough ball to mark. King just hammered into a play. I think it was Graham. And the Saints end up with the ball. No advantage, so it's going to be thrown in.
Just Stephen Milne there. Del Santo, the marking contest. He had to be front and square, Brian. He went past the ball.
Front and square means 90 degrees, Gary, not to the side like he was.
Here goes Burns.
Gee, thorough.
Gary. Very nice from Xavier Clark going back with the flight.
You need to see Gary doing a front and square little clinic for us at half time.
Thompson.
Telestrator if I had it.
They do that in the cricket.
Yeah.
Thompson. To Graham, steps around Playfair, and then goes for Revolt. Got the jukes extended, but Harley just took it away from him in mid-air. And then over the top to a 2-on-1, Chapman. Fisher's got to work very hard here. Prismal ends up with the ball. Standing start, kick forward. Burns will get it on the bounce. Has caused the Saints some problems, Burns. It bounces off the Chester ball. But there's time enough for him to get it to Hodgson.
Hodgson through a bit of traffic. Goddard didn't rush at the ball, waited for it. Voss, now Graham. This is where they like him, Gary.
They love him there.
He penetrates by foot through the middle. Handball to Quill. Did not handle it cleanly. Needed to. And he'll be penalised, I think. No, he won't. Smith gives him the benefit of the doubt. And we'll have a ball up. St Kilda attacking zone.
A lot of people want to know what front and square is, Brian. Look at Stephen Milne. He's got to be at the front of that marking contest, not at the side. The fact that he wasn't, lost possession.
Sharp. Revolt beautifully down. Montagna couldn't take it. Handball straight to Blake. Was Fiora taken high? No. Good tackle from Ling. And a bounce. Aaron Fiora, the former Tiger. Ottens. Johnson. Gwilt. Looking like something out of the Hair Bear bunch. And again, it's locked up. I think a free kick's been picked out this time. And it'll go Mackey's way. I think he was legged. Back to Hunt. Sideways ball from Hunt finds Corey. Deep in his own defensive area.
Joel Corey, risky kick. Harvey getting back. Makes the mark too far out for Robert Harvey. He'll be looking for something short. Was it 15? McBurney says yes, it must have only just been. And Montagna will kick from about 48 metres out, not a lot of angle.
Don't underestimate the Harvey mark, the courage of that to go back with a flight, not knowing what was coming. It's only Shannon Byrne, when I say only, the smallest, probably one of the smallest men on the ground, but he just came back unconditionally, Robert Harvey.
Rewald, don't know whether he's recovered since that last knock, Gary. Still looks a little miffed. As Montagna, to get it back to a three-point game, has missed to the right. So with 3.5 minutes remaining in the half, St Kilda really need to get hold of one. Beautiful kick into Prismal.
Prismal gets it and goes along in the Playfair direction. Ricks with him. Did well to get the ball over the line. I reckon as we approach half-time, Gary, the Saints will be delighted to be this close to Geelong.
Yes, we're just watching it, looking at the Revolt. I reckon it was a knee from Egan. I reckon Revolt actually ran into the knee as opposed to Egan colliding with him. Yeah, I think so. They've had much more of the footy. They've been inside 50, the Cats, on a lot more occasions.
Thompson, terrific. Luke Ball, unsure. Finally gets the footy away. Over towards Del Santo. His kick to Harvey. Very nice. Look at Blake. Oh, Frankie Peckett. They can raffle at these two. Frankie just takes it and walks in and kicks a goal.
Nice finish, but just created by some very hard running. Robert Harvey, oldest player in the competition, Brian, that's right.
I think so.
He ran. Look at the running of him. He's got Cameron Ling, who he knows is a fierce worker. And he just ran and ran and ran into some space, created that free man, got the ball over the top to Justin Peckett, who ended up kicking the goal. So it is a phenomenal work rate he's got.
Saints, after just getting hacked to bits in the early parts of this second quarter, have kicked 3 of the last 4 goals to get back within a couple of points. Nearing half-time, David Johnson just bustling his way through. Committed at the ground level ball was Prismal. It was great. We know this man can kick it by foot. What can he do here? Find anyone? No. Saints, Hudson. 1-on-1 high from Mooney. McBurney agrees. And Mooney apologises. Yeah, sorry, got him a little high. And Max just recovering.
Robert Harvey, certainly the oldest player in the competition, almost a year older, a year and a bit older than Nathan Buckley.
Montagna. Driving ball, Garrick! Oh, he had it all done. Just thought the player in front was coming back on him.
Here comes Scully. Bursting run. David Dents-like stuff from the fullback, but the delivery straight to Raf Clark. And then Max Hutchton out of side. You can't blame Josh Hunt for not going back and getting killed by Fraser on that occasion. That was the only result that was going to happen. Here's Montagna. Over the top, and Gehrig has slipped away from Scarlett.
Yeah, Del Santo in space.
That could go in front here, the Saints. Del Santo ran himself into a bit of trouble, got it off to Milne. The squaring ball. Wyszynski came at it. Egan might opt to soccer the ball off the ground. Instead of that, he gave it to Scarlett. Still in trouble here, Geelong. Del Santo off the ground. They've hit the front.
Leading possession winner on the ground, Nick Del Santo, has seen off Cameron Ling in the process. Just keeps getting the footy. Some pressure, great forward line pressure in there, in amongst this, and then a little bit of magic from some heavy traffic from Del Santo, who is a star. Yeah, they've done beautifully well. Here's the Saints. They're going to go in front, you would imagine.
Some superstars taking a bit of a rest there. Rewalt, Koschitzke been a good return for him. Graham sitting with them. Not long to go in this half, Gary. A minute left. Have the Cats just run out of a little bit of leg power?
Maybe so. Their forward line not that dangerous at the minute.
Okay, Ling out of the middle. Let's see what the Cats can conjure up here. They're down for the first time in this quarter. 4 points. The margin. Del Santo full of run through the midfield. Look at the kick. Oh, Fraser. Just a little much on it for him. Hunt now sees Milburn wide. Gathers all St Kilda players in front, so he has to chisel it back to the corridor, which is not a bad thing at the Dome. Hunt, lovely. Jukish marked by Mooney, wanting to play on. Got it to the left-footed Byrne, can go wide, King. Handball over the top, Prismal. Ball had him covered, it was a good get-rid-of ball. Johnson through traffic. Took him on initially, back down. And now the Saints arrive in big numbers.
Some hard work down there from St Kilda defenders. Raph Clark, he's gone back. Well, I think he's a fantastic bet as a halfback, a running halfback for the Saints. He's gone on to Stevie Johnson.
Last seconds. Chapman. And don't argue on Harvey, and then off to Johnson. Look at the tackling of the Saints. Harvey on top of the footy. They will go in with a lead here, St Kilda, and that is a great result. Siren going to sound. 4-point lead to St Kilda.
Yes, absolutely. That is, I think that last passage of play probably encapsulated a lot of it too. It's just the pressure, the tackling, gone up a notch. They got their big guns on the bench there, and Koschitzke, Rewalt, and Graham, who's been superb this season, and Blake, so they're resting their players throughout the course of the afternoon. More inside 50s to the Cats, but their problems are up forward as well. They can't seem to find it. Just a clear winner. So plenty of work to be done. Peter Riccardi, sadly, afternoon over with a hamstring injury. Who knows how he will go with 3 remaining games after today. But anyway, we've got a contest on our hands here at the Telstra Dome. Beautiful day here in Melbourne. The Saints by 4 points over the Cats. Welcome back to the Telstra Dome. A very close contest on our hands here. 4 points the margin in favour of the Saints. It was 2 points at quarter time. The Cats looked like they were going to open up a pretty formidable lead halfway through the second quarter, but then the Saints rattled home with the last 2 goals of the quarter to lead by 4 points. 2 goals to Fraser Gehrig, singles to Justin Peckett, Brett Voss, Aaron Fura, Nick Del Santo for the Cats, 2 to Stevie Johnson, 1 to Cameron Mooney, Shannon Burns, Josh Hunt and Brad Ottens. Let's head down to the boundary line and Chris Jones.
Well, Gary, Peter Riccardi's just walked past us. He said, am I the breaking news? And I said, how is it? Unfortunately, he said, gone. So the word coming out of the rooms is that it's potentially his career over. Very disappointing. There is good news for the Saints, though. Max Hutchinson, his ankle is going to be okay, and he's going to be able to play the rest of the game.
Good on you, Jonesy. Brian, I guess when you do the hammy like that, just kicking the footy, then on the non-preferred foot, it's not the greatest of signs. So we wish Peter Riccardi well, obviously. We don't know how far the Cats are going to go. What we do know is they need to win this afternoon to keep their finals hopes alive. Some of the other results just falling their way at the moment. So a win today leaves them just the 1 game outside the 8.
They know it's sudden death, Gary, and they know that their season hinges right here and right now. Neil Danaher and Barry Prendergast having a close look at proceedings here today in the stands of the packed Telstra Dome. In excess of 40,000 here today, joining Neil and his staff.
Demons, of course, have got the Cats coming up. We've got to travel down to Skilled Stadium, in actual fact, in round 21 to take on the Cats. So casting a discerning eye over proceedings here.
Brad Ottens, you said that he was one, Gary, that needs to just lift a little here if the Cats are going to get home.
Well, no, he hasn't been horrible by any stretch, but in a low-scoring affair, if you can get your big key forwards to kick 3 goals off, there needs to be someone to kick 3 or 4, and well, Fraser Gehrig halfway there with 2 and Stevie Johnson with 2, but now Riewoldt going to stay at home, and I like that move.
Gone with the conventional setup, haven't they? Riewoldt and Gehrig deep and Koschitzke in the ruck.
Yeah, no, I like that. And he's got Tom Harley, and I'm not sure that Tommy Harley's most comfortable at fullback, so we'll see how long that lasts. I reckon if Riewoldt starts to get a couple of goals early, we might see that move made.
Big half of footy, especially for the Cats, if they want to see any September action. Koschitzke back to Del Santo. Johnson wrapped up instantly, and they'll bounce the ball.
And for the Saints too, let's not forget that, Jim. Big win today, and they will be in the top 4.
Just saw Mooney grab Ricks by the jumper and just warn him to just stay away from the action.
He is capable of an explosion, Big Cam. Koschitzke ducked the head into Enright. Footy ended up on the ground, and I think it'll be bounced again. That's what you're talking about, Brian. Just some jumper work.
Yep. And the younger Ricks, you know, is a possibility that he could be intimidated by that.
Not sure how Rixie goes with his hands in the air, so we'll keep watching as...
he looks like he's going to be fairly formidable, Big Rixie.
Blake. Mackie. Long ball from Mackie. Playfair going back with the flight. No one actually touched the ball in the end, I don't think. First score of the second half's are behind.
Jason Graham with the duties from the square.
Nick Del Santo, he is a marvel at finding some room.
He is. Peckett. And someone to come at him. Harvey supplies that. So is Blake. He ignores both of those. Now he needs to go long to the deeper Gehrig option. He does that. Gehrig fighting for the front position. Got a juke on it. And we'll have a boundary throw in deep for St Kilda.
Now made that move. Harley, they don't want him at fullback, so Egan's gone back to play on Riewoldt. Harley comes up the ground to pick up Blake.
Boundary throw in. Koschitzke caught behind. In front Blake. Thompson did well, but the kick not so good, although Milne capped it off, and this could be something conjured up out of nothing as Milne now disses to Koschitzke and Riewoldt. Koschitzke marks.
And this is the danger for the Cats, is that he pushing forward on Mark Blake is the most dangerous thing of all.
And Riewoldt, I reckon, just protected him. Gary knew that Koschitzke was in good position there and just sort of shepherded while attempting the mark.
Let's have a look at
good
this.
play.
He did indeed. A beautiful call by you, Brian, and beautifully picked up.
Cosy lining up for his second
Sharp
goal.
as you have been for a long time today.
Blushing with that. In he comes, 20 out. As good as directly in front as missed a couple, but that's not one of them. He's got a couple.
Yeah, that conversation there is very interesting, Koschitzke and Blake. I reckon he's saying, now listen, I would give Koschitzke absolute licence to push forward like this at every single opportunity, and that means then Jason Blake has to watch his back. And if the big man doesn't go with him and for some reason Koschitzke doesn't get used, Blake has got to cover him and run forward at every run defensive side. That's the most dangerous move that shapes at the moment.
Justin Koschitzke, 2 goals. Very impressive comeback game. Thompson. Lots of room in the centre for him to get a kick out of there. He's going to bounce in front of Harley dangerously.
Oh, nice.
Harvey over the back. Ling read it well. Hunt to Scarlett. Scarlett to Blake. The kick's too fierce. Montagna. Steps around Wyszynski, gets the left foot kick, and look at Big Fraze.
No, Fraze.
Scarlett up the ground, giving someone a burst, but it was his skill error that led to the forward 50 entry.
Exactly. I think he was looking for some coverage, but when you got free possession, you don't expect it to come back that quickly. Blake, I'm just worried about Blake for the Cats in the ruck at the moment. If Stephen King isn't warming up, he should be.
For 4 in a row for the Saints. It's there.
Well, there is just an error, as you pointed out, boys, in the middle of the ground. If you're going to come inside, we've said this a couple of times, you've got to make sure you hit your target, and that is some poetic justice in that, because Matthew Scarlett's mistake has led to his direct opponent kicking the goal. So you've got to be 100% if you're going to come into the middle of the ground.
Blake dragged off the ground after missing that one in the middle, Gary, and immediately in Koschitzke again. 15-point margin, St Kilda's way. King, as you suggested, also in there.
Well, that's what you need, and he's put the knee straight into Justin Koschitzke.
Montaña's handball, Graham. Cats need to find something out of the clearance area, and it'll go against them here.
Now, Stephen King needs to be, as he is, very aware of Justin Koschitzke. There it is. That's just welcome back to footy, Justin. He hasn't been tested out at all. Maybe the opportunity hasn't presented itself.
Blake, mentioned dragged off the ground, but actually taken forward after his efforts. That one was a correct tackle.
The other Blake is on the interchange bench for Stephen King.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yep.
Ball now with David Johnson on the wing. Wojak. Koschitzke driving ball to a one-on-one. Ottens and Hudson. Hudson had the better position. Now Steve Johnson, ground level. Can he keep it in? Making sure he didn't was Voss.
That's just the one with Brad Ottens where he doesn't have to mark it, but he's got to be able to get that crumb to the front of the pack. Now, Hutchison's a very good player, but the big man's got to control the ball to the front.
He controlled that one to the side. Burns had a little piece of it. Del Santo wrapped up and taken the ground, and there'll be another bounce.
Shannon Burns and even Stephen Johnson, they need this ball to come to the front, because that's where they're going to crumb the footy. And that's a good defensive effort from Maxie Hudson. He's got to grit the teeth more.
Otten's down. Ball taken high, surely. And a free. Tell you, another player is Paul Chapman. If the Cats want to win, Gary, who's got to get involved. Wide, Montaña. Too good a player to be this ineffectual, if that makes sense.
Yeah, hasn't hit the scoreboard at all.
Graham running forward. Peckett's already kicked one, doing this exact thing from outside the 50. Long-range ball. Rebound!
That's where you want him. That's where you want your most dangerous man. And I reckon against Egan, I don't think Egan's going to be too comfortable in the square. I think Scarlett's got to play fullback effectively on this bloke.
Nick's first goal of the day. That's 5 in a row to the Saints.
Nice. We didn't have this early in the piece, Brian. They didn't have the option of going long to the goal square early because the structure was just out of whack a bit. But I tell you what, if I had Nick Rewbold, or Fraser Derrick for that matter, or Justin Koschitzke now in my squad, I'd be happy to kick it to the goal square. He goes back and slots it through. So the challenge now is for the Cats. They've got to find something and find it in a hurry.
5 in a row for the Saints. Have the Cats got anything left for season 2006? Nick Rewald has kicked his 50th goal of the year, and the Saints by 21 points here in the third quarter. There's a clearance for the Cats. The man that JB spoke about, Chapman. High ball, Johnson. Well held. What can Ablett do? He's got Mill to confront him. And it'll be locked in the Geelong forward end.
It just hasn't looked dangerous enough. Obviously dominating possession at this particular stage of the quarter, St Kilda.
A lot of possession with the Saints. Just not getting their hands on it, the Cats, in this quarter. King, an underground ball. Searching for Johnson. Did he dispose of it? Umpire said no.
Good tackle.
Ball to the outer side. That's a good kick. Voss out there.
Luke Ball's just worked his way into the game. It was just looked like he was struggling early, but I reckon that's more down to his body than anything else. And he's now, just his will gets him up into the game.
Harvey from Gehrig.
Big guns, Rewald and Koschitzke deep in the square. Go there.
Graham. Very hard man to sell candy around Paul Chapman. Scarlett. Little one to Hunt. Now the run comes back for the Cats. Here's Chapman. Just got to dump it long and hope that Ottens can hang on to it. He got a hand to it, but there's about 5 players around him, and they're all wearing St Kilda jumpers. And Blake, centre-half back, kick a little strong. King will confront him. Time to go sideways to Fisher.
Fisher, now to Harvey. Pretty hard running by Robert Harvey to end up in that position. He was on the other side of the ground just seconds ago. Fiora mounting a challenge here, the Saints. They've kicked 5 in a row, remember. Del Santo. Plenty of space for the big boys to operate inside 50. He goes wide, Goddard.
This is a season on the line, Brian, for the Cats. Absolute season on the line, and I don't reckon they've been desperate enough to get on their men.
Look at this. Everyone prepared to stay out of the way for the big boys. Milne gets in there only because the tall targets didn't come forward, and King, the saving mark.
It's a horrible kick from Brendan Goddard.
Johnson, Prismal and Goddard. Goddard did well to come back on the footy. Mackie needs to be careful with the ball use. He was to Prismal. Prismal can go. Little left foot one to Cam, who slides in. Big Mooney.
Well, he is the one man that is desperate enough. I mean, the whole year rides on this. The whole year rests on the next quarter and a half. You want to see the biggest effort you've seen from this Geelong team all year. You've got to know that you leave nothing out there on the park. And right now, I'm not convinced that they are, to a man, busting everything they've possibly got. I never questioned this bloke about doing it. Some of the other boys have got to jump on for the ride, otherwise the season's gone.
Cam Mooney, big kick to the Lockett end. And that's going to miss badly. Just some worrying signs at the moment for Geelong.
There is indeed.
To their advantage, though, that it's only a 20-point ball game, guys, and just takes a mini run from the Cats to get back in business. Couple of goals consecutively, and they're away again. They're pressing here at the moment. Burns. Not beyond him on the run from here, but from the set shot, difficult. Burns.
Well, all but 4 players in one half of the ground at the moment.
He's going to have a crack at it. No, he's not. He's just going to pop it up to the top of the square. Here comes King. Launches. Couldn't get it over the top. Ablett beat him to the behind line. And a 19-point margin in favour of the Saints.
Gary Ablett is another one who's got to start to get busier around goals.
Kick just the required 15. Goddard. Oh, dangerous ball here. Milne's got to sit under it. Hunt overcommitted. And Milne went back and got it very well. Stops and then inboard he goes. Blake slides in on the knees. Handball off to Raph Clark. Steps around. Here comes Koschitzke. Fist away was good on this occasion from Egan. And he controlled the ground level ball beautifully. Wojcinski. Burns. Some risk taking needed from the Cats. Milburn. Play fair. No jokes.
Get him out.
No jokes. And now through comes Fisher. And he might make him pay the ultimate price. He has. That's what no jokes will do to you.
Gary, how can a player not know in that situation that the Dukes need to be at full extension?
Just the cardinal sin there from Big Henry. Just, if you want to know what the Dukes are, the hands extended is what the boys are asking for.
Sheesh.
And they're not there, and this man did it beautifully and finished and may have even snuffed the chance out. Someone's got to respond to that. They have to respond, the Cats.
6 in a row for the Saints, and the Cats are in big trouble.
Ooh.
Henry didn't get the Dukes extended. And boy, oh boy, the Cats now have to kick consecutive goals in this quarter. Mackie, their season is currently on the line in the next 5 minutes. The next 10, the remaining part of this quarter. Otten's driving ball, he's got King. Tall in the square. Hutchton did really well without infringing. Ablett went over, recovers. In they come. Still going. Play fair. Picks up, slides the handball to Hunt. Needs to be good. Lynn. Okay. Ling is directly in front, 30 out.
Kick the goal now. The thing about Stephen King, boys, was he stood his ground. The contest came to the front. The ball had spilled over the back. It would have been a behind, and we may have had the ball at the other end of the ground. The big man stood tall against Max Hutchison, got to the front, and ends up in a shot for goal.
He's reliable, this man, from the set shot. I think he's either kicked 5, 1 or 5 straight this year. He's been pretty good. In comes Ling. It's something in that area, Gary.
Homework.
I know he's good at it.
Homework.
And he's got it. Ling, first goal since the 19-minute mark of the second quarter.
It's good for the game. It's good for the contest that the Cats have got to hang in. You want them. That is the pivotal play right there, boys. Right there. Because it gives Gary Ablett a chance. It'll give Chapman a chance. It'll give Burns a chance if he gets down there. You've got to stand tall. You cannot let the footy just be killed.
Geez, Ablett was good, Gaz, too, wasn't he? Keeping that ball alive.
Yes, kept on his feet.
Does it mean enough to this Cat unit to keep the thing alive? Bounce back in the centre. Otten's now in there, got it down to Chapman.
Here we go.
Long ball forward. Playfair and Mooney both had a little piece of it. Big Hank at ground level, couldn't rope the footy in. Burns. Hunt normally uses it beautifully. No exception, and Ling, another nice grab. Low delivery to Mooney.
Well, this is the other matchup that they could exploit. Ricks, not a fullback, big Michael Ricks. No good at fullback, Brian. Works hard around the ground as a ruckman, but in terms of trying to stop a bloke leading out from the goal square, that's where he'll struggle. That is the area they need to exploit as well.
All right, Cam Mooney missed badly the last time he had a set shot.
Oh, no.
This time he's not even going for it, just a short ball to Mackie.
Oh, Saints boys. Saints boys looking at each other at the moment. No finger pointing, mind you, but they're looking at each other. There is no doubt they just stopped and conceded that he was going to have a shot at goal.
He's kicked 8 of them this year, Mackie.
He's got a singlet on, Brian, hasn't he?
One of those warmer suits, I think, Gary.
Okay.
Important kick. It's coming back. Cats have kicked 2 in a row.
Well, we asked the question, did it mean enough? And maybe, just maybe it does. Cameron Ling, pivotal in the last 2 goals. Kick 1, sets this one up for Mooney, who then just gets it on to Mackie. Have a look at this. That's some lazy checking, and there'll be a few alarm bells going off in the St Kilda coaching box, Brian.
Perhaps they thought they might have just had done enough, Gary.
Well, maybe.
Cats, just with a couple of consecutive goals back in business within 13 points.
Yeah, it's great for the game. 8 defenders for the Cats. St Kilda happy to go with 8 forwards. I like it, Brian.
In the middle, Ackland. Hunt, who's come into the game as well in this quarter. Setting it up by foot has been beautiful across half forward. Chris Jones.
Well, Ginsy's just come from the ground with a trainer. He's getting a lot of work done on his right calf.
Big Fraser Gehrig on his own inside forward 50, on his own. Everyone else up around this contest.
There he is. Ball knocked forward for the Saints. Cats have got 3 players in pursuit. Corey ends up with it now. Harley. They go forward again here. Playfair at the back. Burns in front. Playfair did well. Mopped it up. Here they go. Prismal to Stevie Johnson. What can he do? Voss.
Good effort, Voss. Left his man.
Wrong defensive mark.
Beautiful business from Voss. Kicks it to Ackland.
This is where the Cats have got to run hard to man up. Run hard.
Ackland goes nicely to Fiora, who'd stepped away from Burns. Kick to suit Goddard was nice, and the hands of Goddard were good too.
Mackie been with Goddard all afternoon, the vast majority. Done a reasonable job.
Gehrig. The long option. Kicks into the man on the mark.
Ooh.
Mackie now shovels it to Corey. Corey steps around and then goes back to Mackie. Nothing on, so he's got a handball to Milburn, who's in trouble. Oh, he got the handball away and then played for a free kick. Very cable style.
Tackled himself, Jim.
The kick forward. Drop ball from Harley. Gwilt. Oh, these plays are all very important. Gehrig looked to Harvey and missed him. Overrunning at Prismal. Ball helped into the turf. And at centre-half forward, I reckon we're going to have a bounce.
Oh, it's gone up a notch, and a couple of mistakes coming in here.
Tempers. A little
Frayed.
Absolutely. A real pressure part of the game this last couple of minutes. You know, Geelong are coming. The Saints have sensed that, and they're cracking in as well. Burns. Rewalt gathers. Kick downfield is good to Harvey. Harvey's got Peckett on. No time wasted here. Peckett can go in. Gehrig's one out with Scarlett. It's coming his way. Ordinary kick. Gehrig in front. He went the lot, big phrase. And had an airy.
He's going to volley it out of mid-air, phrase.
He went the Cantona. No contact at all with the Sharon. As Mooney out in front of Ricks. Ball to the back. Mooney keeps his feet. Ablett comes in. Big Cam. Back to Ablett, the excitement machine. Low to Johnson. Overcooked the kick. Not sure it was going into the right spot anyway.
Big Kingy, the top of the square. One out against Max Hutchton. Get one of those genuine contests again. And away you go.
6 of its 9 games here this season.
They are running. The Cats are running.
King. Look at him hook that back. Prismal couldn't take it. Xavier Clark could. Oh, he got through there somehow. But standing his ground was Otten's. Lynn's got it now. Left foot from outside of the arc. Johnson unable to get to the ball. Fisher.
Right, pressure.
And it's over the line.
Good pressure, Stephen Johnson.
Play on. Didn't quite cross the line, JB.
Oh, my Lord.
Goddard. Boundary umpire was right there. He was correct. It was on the line. But all of the ball did not go over the line, Gary.
Oh,
have a look at this. Some of the ball still on the line. Gee.
You've got to be kidding me.
Under 5 minutes remaining in the quarter.
They've got at him.
Cats have kicked the last 2.
They've got him.
After the Saints kicked 6 prior to that. Clark to Gehrig. Good juggling, Jukey Schmark. Just at centre-half forward, sees Gwilt. Gwilt runs. Hunt's got him. He went over. Gwilt gets back to feed. Good composure. Del Santo not paid the free either.
Oh, no.
Cats are away, JB.
Chapman wide. Look at Tommy Harley get hold of this one. He steps through a couple, Tom. And then looks for Big King. Oh, I thought he might have had some high contact, King. Xavier Clark tries to step through. He's in trouble. Got it off to Peckett. Just slams it on the boot. The high one, and Harley sits under the foot. Drops the mark. But it's got some composure as he goes back to Mooney. And Mooney will shovel it to Enright. Enright with a bounce. Long targets he had, but he ignored them and went to Milburn. Milburn. Hunt over the top. Here he goes.
No,
Did not go with the double Duke attempt.
Oh, don't like it.
And Revolt bangs it to Gwilt.
Oh,
I don't like it. That's a good mark.
it is.
I don't
Have a
like
look at
this.
this.
No, Brian, not good enough when your season's on the line. I'm sorry.
Tried to hook it in, Gary, and
I'm
just
sorry.
he was working back very, very nicely.
No, Brian.
Except for the last
Just
second.
You've been got at.
Kick is wide.
You call it
Cats.
how you see it, Brian.
Gary.
You've been got at. That is not good enough.
Gee. In the middle, here he is. Thompson, though, in front. The Saints. Montagna can go from here. The long ball.
That's the result, Brian.
Oh, no, Gary.
That is the result. The Cats enjoying their best period of the game. And you might be sitting at home and saying it's easy up there. Well, it is. Very easy to talk about it, but when your footy club season just is in the balance, you got to go. A goal there, and we have got massive game on. Bulls at the other end, 20 points the margin.
Big play. And centre square infringement. We'll see Ottens with the ball.
Flattened us in the box.
Goes to Mooney. The kick was too strong. Cannon into the back of the big boy, but no free.
No free
Johnson
kick.
can't get hand to ball, so he tries to get boot. Out wide, Fiora. Johnson with him. Diving in, Fiora. And we're going to have the ball bounced.
Cam Mooney a bit unlucky there, boys, not to get a free kick. I know he slipped, but in the end, the contact. Oh, look at the St. Kilda bloke running in there. It's a free kick.
That was it. Revolt. Corey can't take the finger tipper. The little things going the Saints' way. Thompson long. Koschitzke and Egan. Egan got the fist away. Good hard contest. Cozzy does brilliantly well at ground level. Scarlett, though, able to go and get it. And Ling and Corey out here. And further afield, Burns.
Burns on the wing. Chapman running in support. Needs to get a bit of a move along. Dars avoids the tackle. Little slip. Regains composure. Centering ball. Good. Milburn. Strong. Overhead with the full jukes, Gary.
There's full extension. Nice work, Stephen Johnson. And he's got to kick the goal. At least they look a little dangerous. At least when it goes forward, you think they're a chance, the Cats, at this stage. They had a bit of momentum. Big play that just went up the other end of the ground. He needs this to get them back on track.
This to stay in the hunt. They're 20 points adrift. Milburn comes in, hit the post.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
19-point ball game.
Bad miss. Bad miss.
Gee, just need a minute 20 on the clock.
Goddard long. Ricks. And Blake did well to make a contest of it. Johnson, dangerous kick. Actually got it going the Saints' way. Brilliant pick up, Montaigne. Stretches away. Low one looking for big phrase. Scarlett was terrific. Was he taken high? Not according to the umpire. And we're going to have it bounce. 25 out.
I reckon he had opportunity then. He recovered, got back to his knees, Gary. He could have handballed it out. Watch. Gets back to his knees. Could have had. Oh, well,
split
maybe
second.
not.
Split second.
Maybe not. Good decision.
Blake won it down. Scarlett. Milburn.
The game needs a Cats goal here just inside the three-quarter time siren, I reckon, Jim. Not that the game's over by any stretch.
No. And we're enjoying it.
Oh.
Don't worry about that.
Oh.
Harley, out of side, has taken it. And we've got 28 seconds left.
There's the man, Josh Hunt. He got dragged immediately. He looks like a man who knows that he's let his team down, but he has got a quarter of footy to redeem himself.
Scarlett's kick was ordinary. Mackey, was he taken high? Burns trying to get the handball to Big Blake. They turn it over. 10 seconds left. This will kill Geelong if they can kick one here. Graham steps on through and goes long and strong. It was touched on the line by Corey.
That was a quarter of footy. A quarter of footy. The Cats looked like they were done. And the Saints were running with a full head of steam. Then Cameron Ling got himself involved. Big Cam Mooney started to find the footy. And they got themselves right back in the contest. They are right back in the contest. They've got 1 quarter of football to go here this afternoon to make sure that their season remains alive and September's an option. 20 points to margin here at three-quarter time. The Saints looking for a spot in the top 4. Shadone, three-quarter time, and it's all come down to this for the Cats. 20 points in arrears. St Kilda 12-7-79, 8-11-59. The Cats, the Saints win today. They are in the top 4 and looking at a double chance. The Cats win today. Their September hopes alive. They lose, they are dashed. Pivotal play. The Cats were coming 14 points down. They were. Ball going forward. This was a pivotal moment in the game. Josh Hunt, who's played well. The effort not acceptable. Had he gone and been able to mark that, go back and kick the goal, would have been 8 points. As it was, it went up the other end of the ground. They goal, 20 points to margin. Cut a lonely figure, but the boys got around him at three-quarter time.
How do you handle that as Bomber Thompson? Gary, do you say anything to him? Does he know what he did and you don't say a word?
Well, that'd be up to each coach. I reckon I would just suggest that he's got a bit of ground to make up. As that's an interesting way for Grant Thomas to talk to Jason
Went straight for him,
James
Gary.
Gwilt.
The moment he came down onto the ground, it went straight for him. Let's go down to Chris Jones.
Yeah, Brian, it was fascinating to watch, but he was pretty calm and composed at the three-quarter time break. Bomber Thompson had him in one big group, a whole lot. He was saying for one last effort, pleading for one last effort. They said their season's on the line.
It is indeed. They are 20 points adrift as we go into the last quarter. Graham got rid of the ball nicely. Corey on the end of it. Now Mackie. A low bullet to Ablett. He's one that can supply some action in this last quarter. A little bit heavy. Punched him over Blake.
Got to have huge commitment, Gary, but also take risks if you're the Cats.
Well, you can't die wondering. That's right, James. And the thing is, they got the big Blakey down there at full forward. Well, he's just got to contest like he never has before.
Fiora, well done, Harley. Came across in front.
Good effort.
Got belted, but affected the spoil.
Oh.
Not sure if that's correct disposal inside the 50. Scarlett coughed it up. Ball wide to Graham. Tucked hard against the line. He squares it up. Ottens to arrive and try and affect a spoil there. Thompson looked to revolt. Harvey back to revolt. Now Raf Clark gets around and kicks a big goal.
Well, we've focused a fair bit on Geelong and what if they do and what if they don't. Things are looking all right for the Saints. Don't worry about that. They got some players back in. Raf Clark, Xavier Clark, Koschitzke, as we've spoken about. And they've got better as the day has worn on. This man can play forward and back, and it's going to be, well, it's a very tall order from here for the Cats. It's a fair way back.
Andrew Thompson gone off with a left knee problem as well by the looks. Chris Jones, what do you think?
Yeah, it looked like he was shot. He went down in that forward pocket and signalled to the bench. He came straight off. It is that left knee. 26-point margin, biggest margin of the game is where we're at now. The good thing for the Cats, it's early in the last quarter. It's great news if you're St Kilda fans because your mob is playing really well. Here's Enright. Kick forward, Mooney. Diving attempt, couldn't quite get hold of it. Peckett. In one side, out the other. Harvey controlled it nicely. He's got Milne on, ignores that. Rewald's coming corridor. Here it is. The kick for Rewald. Enright got back in the pocket. Did nicely. Picked up by Graham. Lets it rip. And missed to the left.
Cam Mooney, Steve Johnson and Blake. Mark Blake, the three talls. Hunt's gone forward. Gary Ablett, the smaller crummers for the Cats.
How long, if you Bomber Thompson, Gary, do you leave King sitting it out?
Well, yes, I think they're going to give Ottens probably the first 5 minutes in the ruck, see if he can't generate something and then push him forward, I would imagine, but not much longer.
David Johnson, good kick to Harley. Thought about the handball to Mackie. Now he carries it and handballs anyway. And at this stage, Mackie's in strife. Hunt went and got it. Well done, Mackie. Johnson needed to give quickly to Harley and he didn't. Hunt went and got it and steered it to Mackie.
Well, they've got to generate their own enthusiasm and excitement here. They know they're looking down the barrel, the margin's creeping out, but there can't be a sense of resignation here. They've got to really get themselves up and have this belief that they can still pull this margin back.
Kick from Mackie. This would be a good start for them. I reckon it's got there. Goal umpire agrees.
Two goals to Andrew Mackie. Liked his game this afternoon. Gone pretty well head-to-head with Brendan Goddard for most of the day, and Brendan Goddard's had a very good year. He's kept him to 14 possessions, and he himself has found 23 of them, and now 2 goals. So that is a fantastic return. He's out here on centre wing without an opponent just at the moment, so that's not a bad start.
Cats are not done with yet. Mackie has kicked their last 2 goals. They're within 21 points. Ottens, clearance vital. It was good, wasn't it?
Yep.
Look at the fast hands. The intuitive give. One too many, though. Now Harvey to forward. Garrick's got it all to do with Scarlett. Bounce got them both. Numbers will win for the Cats in the end. Egan, the hurried handball to Scarlett. Through traffic, thought his way through that nicely, did Scarlett. Milburn now. Running from half-back Johnson. David Johnson through the middle of the ground, long ball. Mooney, the one-hander against Ricks. He recovers first. Squeeze the handball to Wattens. Needs running support. Prismal. Get rid of all, you'll be tackled. And that is surely dropping the ball. It is, and Ball will receive the free and send half back.
No, he's tackling. He's always first-rate, Luke Ball, because he's such a committed player. Just went for a bit too much.
Is the structure right for the Cats at the moment, Gary?
No, you've got to get Blake off the ground. He's not helping him up there.
The reason the player held onto the footy was there was nothing to go to. So there's Blake coming from the ground. Playfair back on. Blake drops this mark for the Saints. Crashing in on the outer side. Luke Ball picks it up, runs forward. Kick misses Revolt. Harley did well. Mackie now. Ling through the centre. Has a bounce. Gives it off to Prismal. Prismal, the low driller, no good.
They're too close. The forwards are too close, so the defenders can zone off. That was meant for Chapman, who made a lead. But Voss just zoned off Johnson. They just got to spread themselves a bit.
Here's Blake. First time to steady for a while. This game has been hot in this last quarter for the opening 4.5 minutes. It's a game that is still very much in the balance. Make no mistake. Xavier Clark, one of the inclusions back in the St Kilda side today, along with this man here, Koschitzke.
That's the thing that'll be exciting the Saints supporters, because they will get better and better, these blokes, these inclusions, and they're really important inclusions. The two Clarks and this fellow.
2 goals to this man, has played 79% of the game so far. Driving ball. Gary! Oh, that's strong.
That is the other thing that would excite them. Just see the big pack, the big contested mark from Fraser. Clean hands. That is beautiful. Stephen King and Matthew Scarlett. Pretty fair opposition. Stephen King, if you want to be hypercritical, he's got to get there. He has to crash and crunch that pack.
Here he is. Fraser Gehrig has kicked 3 today. This one favouring the side for a left footer. He's given Geelong a chance here. He has missed to the left. And a little bit of a limp to go with it.
Milburn. Can they go coast to coast, the Cats? Milburn kicks to himself and then gets a shepherd from Enright. Scarlett. Burns. High one to centre half forward. Mooney's got to provide a contest. Ground level, it'll work for Mackie. Slipped it to Johnson. Magic needed. He waited for the bounce of the ball. And it didn't go his way.
Could he have got there, Steve Johnson? Could he have got there? That's the question. And I guess as the game wears on, it's the fitness component that begins to tell on him.
Half forward here for the Cats. Clark attacked by 3 Cats, and we'll ball it up.
Playfair is now the nominal full forward that Max Hudson's got to contend with. Mooney down there. I'd like to see him in the square, one out.
22-point St Kilda lead. Del Santo hovering over the top of it. King needs to really lift in this last 13 minutes if his side is to get up. It needs some strong leadership here in the next 13 minutes from the Cats.
Hard to tell, isn't it? But, gee, they need some desperation.
Did well, King. Koschitzke over it. Enright. And a free kick, in fact, will go St Kilda's way. No, it'll go Geelong's way. It's going to go to Enright, and the player in trouble down there is Del Santo, I think. Yep. Slow to get back to his feet. David Johnson, in the meantime, gets it down to Playfair. Mooney it is.
That's the move there. That's the leading forward that can keep the Cats in it.
Del Santo, I was watching, and he's coming from the ground. And in the meantime, Mooney from the pocket. Tough pocket here. He has a good look at it. He's unsure. Real tough pocket. Not a lot of distance. Goes the short kick to the lead to Burns. I think it's a behind. I just wonder what the thought process was there. He wasn't sure about the angle, Gary.
Well, if he had perhaps kicked it okay, then Burns on his left foot might have been a bad bet from there.
It's just execution in the end that let him down. Goddard. They need the next one, the Cats, if they're any chance, you sense. Beautiful kick from Goddard. Harvey out the back. Revolt.
One the other way might snuff the lot out.
Yep. Revolt goes to Big Fraser. And he takes it.
Yeah,
Still that limp.
Yeah, it was from the marking contest.
What can he do from here? This is why they get the headlines, Brian, and the big paychecks, the big forwards, because when it matters...
Look at the crowd behind pondering what he'll do.
This is what they get done. The job. No phrase across the face and the fist through for a behind and relief for the Cats.
That's better from Stephen King. Gets there, kills the contest.
Just needs to be more aggressive in that contest more often, Gary.
Well, you'd see Koschitzke, when I talked earlier, he crashes packs. He takes 3 or 4 blokes over with him, and inevitably the ball goes and spills free. That's what he's got to get into his head.
Enright did well because he had really nothing on down the line. Steve Johnson's come up from a long way back, and without running support, that's why Goddard was able to clean up for Fiora. He's a loping long left footer here. Fiora, lovely ball to Gehrig, waited for the bounce. Fraser keeps it alive. Soccer off the ground, it's in play, and it'll be paid as a mark.
See Stephen Johnson chase that footy. He just hasn't got the miles in his legs to stay in that contest. He gets bundled over too easily.
11 minutes left, 22-point margin St Kilda's way.
Got to start making something happen right now, the Cats.
Well, they got back into the game by running, Jim, playing on and running. They're endeavouring to do it again, but as the game wears on, it's harder to find those blokes with the legs.
Paul Chapman. Back to Hunt. Johnson, no, the kick missed. Thompson now. Over the top to Fraser. He could have played on. He decided to go back, and
you don't know what's going on inside a bloke's head, and it'd be wrong to second guess, but that looked to me like the kick of a man who's still a bit distracted, Josh Hunt. But anyway, this is the result. Fraser Gehrig kicks this goal.
It's game over. Left foot ball. It's leaking out to the left again, so inaccuracy keeping Geelong in it.
A sense of theatre, Fraser.
He has 3 goals, 2 today. Maybe 1 out of bounds on the full to go with it. The Cats live to fight another day. Time is starting to become an issue for them. 23 points, 10 minutes.
Well, they've protected the kick in well, Gas, the Saints.
Scarlett told to play on around the body. He agrees with you, James. He's just a little tense at the moment.
Distracted.
I was talking about something else behind the scenes.
To be distracted, Gary. We know that.
I'm making you look good, Brian.
Corey keeps it alive. Look at this.
Doing your homework for you.
Eventually banged off the shin. He was penalised because of it.
What was your question, Jim?
I said the Saints have protected the kick in very well this afternoon.
Yeah, they have. Their zone's been great. In fact, they've played it. This has been a really good result because the competition is so much at stake. So they've had to come and play hard and tough footy. It hasn't been free-flowing, super impressive, but gee, I reckon Grant Thomas will be drawing a fair bit out of it.
Nick Del Santo with the nose packed heavily. Beckett over the back, a free kick anyway. It's going to go to Revolt. Left foot ball. Oh. Gehrig gets away, couldn't take the mark. Spilled ball, kicked forward. Over the line, it'll be thrown in.
He's cramping, Fraser. He might need a spell. He did all the hard work. Body's massive body strength just brought him a couple of yards. This is what they got coming up. Fremantle, are they in good nick? The Western Bulldogs and the Lions. It's a tough run home.
Harvey, Milne, capable of kicking these, turns around, fronts the goal, put it across the face. Out of bounds on the full. Not sure whether either side has got the run left in the legs to do much damage from here on, Gary.
No, it doesn't look like it, does it? I guess the Cats, I mean, the St Kilda will be happy for it to peter out.
Beautiful kick by Hunt to Harley. They will. Harley wanting to get something forward. Burns eventually makes the lead, but the kick to him was ordinary, but Burns made it look better than it was.
Good hands. Just got to almost go. Just got to play on and be prepared to lose the footy right now. They just can't keep going back and kicking over the mark. This is the whole year, let's not forget. So
King coming off for the Cats.
if you're going to turn it over like that, you might as well turn it over playing on and trying to be bold and a bit aggressive.
Ottens replaces King. So the last effort about to come from the Cats.
Next goal, if they get the next goal before St Kilda score, who knows?
Fisher, good ball to space. Rewalt, beautiful pick up. Milne, here he is. He can run and straighten up. He'll turn him inside out. He does. There is the game sealer. The Saints are home.
Now Stevie Milne, I reckon that's where he needs to be, forward of the centre. Nick Revolt's work rate, boys, is, we were talking about Robert Harvey earlier. Now, Tommy Harley's had him probably for half the game, and he's played well, Tom Harley, but in the end, there would be few defenders that could run with Revolt throughout the course of the afternoon, and he was the beneficiary there, Stephen Milne.
Just a tick under 41,000 at the Dome. That's a good crowd. And lots of them are Saints fans, and they will be delighted. Undermanned, key injuries. Maguire, Hamill, Hayes, superstars not playing, and they've still managed to control a high-quality opponent, and that's what's ahead for the Cats. Sydney looking ominous at home, Melbourne at home, and then back here for the Hawks. Kick forward for St Kilda. Footy on the ground. Harley taking the ground. Out of there, Thompson. Del Santo on the left. Misses to the left.
Just wonder whether there could be a floodgate situation coming. He's a little bit of cramp. A couple of the boys cramping up here. Fraser Gehrig and now Nick Del Santo.
Big 5 behinds so far in this last quarter of the Saints.
It could be a few banged on.
Hunt. High ball, Chapman. Johnson socking it out of hands. Here's Mackie. Running support with Johnson. Happy to see it over.
Been very good, Andrew Mackie. Been very good indeed. His last half of the year for the Cats has been one of the real positives.
Ottens. Harvey. Peckett. Through traffic. Nice little kick. Xavier Clark's just come on the ground. Here it is. The handball to Blake. He can run all the way. Mackie tries to track him down, but Blake goes for home with a long 45-metre ball. That one's missed to the left. They've all missed left in this last quarter, the Saints.
I don't know what's going through Robert Harvey's mind, boys, but from us observing him, he should play next year. His body might be telling him different, but he's had 22 touches, taken 12 marks, put it inside 56 times today.
Brad Ottens. Triple coverage there on Mackie. Ball in Johnson's hands now. Chapman bursts through. Bounce at half forward. And then goes for Mooney. Kick misses him. In fact, it misses everyone. Mooney goes back and gets it. Well done. Off to Ling. Should kick a goal, and he does.
No doubt about Cameron Ling and his attitude and his attack on the footy and his willingness to push his body to near exhaustion. He's also got one of those great work rates that can burn players off. He's had his hands full today, though. Del Santo early. Luke Ball a bit now, but he just keeps trying. Cameron Ling would be one of the blokes that you just love to have in amongst your mob.
2 goals apiece in the last quarter. Ling's got a couple. Geelong trail the Saints by 25. Ling with the clearance. Burns, who's been okay for the Cats today. Threw it out the back door. in hope that someone could get on the end of it. That didn't eventuate, and now Goddard. 6 minutes remaining in the game here at the Dome. And the Saints, who have been in good touch in recent weeks, have won 5 of their last 6. They've got Fremantle at Subi next week. Lost to West Coast, of course, last week. In fact, their last 3 losses, JB, for St Kilda have been West Coast, Adelaide and Melbourne, all sides that have been at the very best of their game.
Well, as I said earlier, when you consider who's not playing for St Kilda, their last 2 months of football have been fantastic, really, ever since they went to Bonnie Doon, Gaz.
No.
And drunk in a bit of the Serenity.
Yes.
High ball forward.
Who knows what went on in Bonnie Doon.
At the back, Harvey. Gary's man. Squares it up for Revolt. Beautiful. Robert Harvey has provided St Kilda forwards with magnificent supply for 15 years.
My other man's got it. He has. He just keeps running, Jim. That's why. And no one can keep up with him over the course of a game. And a bit the same with this bloke.
For his second goal. And to make it academic. It's there.
I've really liked Revolt's game today, boys. It may not have been his most spectacular, and he played in a foreign position for the first quarter, but the thing that I've loved about it is how hard he's worked, how hard he has worked to make sure that he always provides a target, played against the quality opponents and just keeps presenting every single time. It's been a very, very good performance.
Well, that's a sad sight. Happy sight if you're a St Kilda fan. The Geelong fans on their way home, Gary.
NAB Cup winners after round 2, premiership favourites after round, what are we, 19?
Yep.
Out of finals contention.
Not a happy feeling if you're a Geelong fan. With your side, 3 games remaining. Not going to take part in the action at the end of the season. On the other hand, St Kilda have got a lot to look forward to. Fremantle, the Western Bulldogs and Brisbane over the next 3 weeks, and this top 4 position still up for grabs. If they can put a real good run together, which they are. Enright accepts the ball and runs and kicks the goal. 3 goals in the last quarter for the Cats.
Well, they will be in the top 4, the Saints, barring any extraordinary incident. They will be in the top 4, and that's where you want to be, and you want to be playing your best footy at this time of year. So, as we've mentioned through the course of this afternoon, good players, the good players are coming back. Robert Harvey comes to the bench. That's the round of applause that you can hear. But they've got some very, very good players back in a game of footy under their belt.
Robert Harvey just getting a finger put back in by the look of it.
I think they'd be happy to have him off anyway at this stage, wouldn't they?
He's done enough. Enright, the goal kicker. Hooked it out of there. I think Cats fans, Gary, are numb. They just can't believe they're not going to see September action.
No, I reckon they'll be bitterly disappointed.
Milne pulls it around to Gwilt. Revolt couldn't take the mark on Harley, who did well. Revolt went back and got it. A scramble. Harley got it to Chapman. And Hunt to Ling. And you consider that they were a kick out of the grand final last year. It's a big fall from grace.
I think the other thing is, I reckon they haven't really, apart from maybe that third quarter burst, they haven't really threatened.
Fiora.
And that would be disappointing when your whole year's on the line.
Ackland will be run down. Johnson. Not enough time for the Cats. Johnson, good kick. Playfair back into space. No, that would disappoint you, I reckon. They've had a look of resignation about them at times, which is not what you want when your season's on the line.
They need to find a more consistent forward setup. I think that will be one of the priorities over summer.
Henry Playfair. Kick looks left. Badly left.
Two and a half minutes remaining before the Saints fans can celebrate. Peckett.
It's a good kick.
Into the middle, finds Blake. Blake's off. Kick wide to Ackland, cut off in the end by Egan. Chapman fires out the handball Corey's way, and kick back in ball was risky to Ling, and Graham got a waiting hand there. Plays on immediately, hoping for Thompson to run forward, but Corey got back to answer the challenge.
Not sure Andrew Thompson needs to be sprinting into space at the dying minutes of the fourth quarter at this stage of his very, very good footy career.
Ablett, only 3 players left on the ground that have played every minute of the game today. Ricks and Fisher.
Still pulling them out, Jim.
And Scarlett, the other one.
Even in the dying.
The only one for the Cats. Kick forward to Ottens. Ball in dispute. And a free going the Saints' way.
How far into September can the Saints go, Gary?
Oh, well, they're very capable of going to the preliminary final. And they may have to hit the road the way things are unfolding at the moment. But I don't know whether we get the romantic side of the Justin Koschitzke return, but gee, he seems to make a difference.
Kick forward in hope as much as anything else. Harley, who's been a good player.
He has. He's tried tirelessly, Tom Harley, along with this man.
Got it to Cameron Ling. Short to Enright. Enright to Ottens. Good hands on this occasion. And Max Hutchton again with the ankle problem we saw him leave the ground with earlier. Maxie being a warrior.
Wholehearted. Jim, that's what you got with Max Hutchton. You just got a wholehearted competitor who will give nothing less than 100.
And Brad Ottens used to be one of the sweetest timers of a drop punt in the competition, but as he gets older, he's found that harder to achieve. And that one's away to the left.
A clean 23-point margin there with the half a minute remaining. St. Kilda coaching staff would be very relieved getting away with this win today, because Geelong had a lot to play for, obviously. So did the Saints, mind you. And it is the better team coming away with a positive result today. Peckett. And that is it. The Saints win in a very big game for them. Justin Koschitzke's return will be welcomed by all St. Kilda fans.
Yes, indeed. It's a great story, and he's through safely to have one under his belt, and that's the smile. Have a look at that. That's a smile of a very happy and relieved man, I would imagine. All good news for the Saints. 23 points the margin here. All positives. They've all got through. No major injuries to speak of. The Clark boys back and played some very nice football. Fraser Gehrig, I like the look of him today, boys. He looks like he's back in a bit of touch. I thought Revolt was great. Had a few players down still. But just a lot to like about St. Kilda's performance this afternoon. There's some massive disappointment from a Geelong Footy Club point of view. As we said, premiership favourites after 2 games of footy, and now out of the finals. But the story today, Justin Koschitzke down on the ground with Chris Jones.
Cosy, congratulations. Great day for you and the Saints. What was it like to be out here again?
Oh, mate, it was super to be out there with the lads again, and just good that it's good to have a win and blow the siren and get through, mate. It's the first one I've got through all year, so it's super.
I'm tipping there were a few nerves before the game.
Yeah, certainly. It was like I was debuting all over again, probably with a little bit more, and just wanted to get through and got through unscathed, and good win, so it's a relief.
And a great day for the club because you're in the top 4 now.
Yeah, well, that's super, and hopefully we can go on with it and have a good win on the road next week and push towards finishing there.
Well done, mate. Enjoy the night.
Well done indeed to Justin Koschitzke. Well done to the St. Kilda Footy Club, victorious today over the Cats, 15-13, 103. Geelong 11-14, 80. And what about that? That's a good sign. Revolt and Koschitzke, Jim, good to see those two giants together, and that's a sad sight. We believe Peter Riccardi with a hamstring injury that is, well, almost certainly going to end his year, and who knows, maybe his very good career.
Yeah, he's been a terrific player for the Cats, Peter Riccardi, and congratulations to him if that is the last time he walks off an AFL ground.
Indeed, boys, been a very enjoyable afternoon. Brian, thank you for your efforts this afternoon. Thank you to you, Jim. Just
Pleasure, Gary.
St Kilda 23-point victors over the Cats on Sunday Football.